Have you ever looked at your garden in October and thought, well, that's it, growing season's over? What if I told you that's the biggest mistake most Zone 8 gardeners make, and it's quietly costing you an entire season of growth? Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll realize that October isn't the end of your garden. It's actually the beginning of your next harvest. And the way you handle this 1 month decides how your garden will perform for the next 6. I'm not exaggerating. You're about to learn which vegetables, herbs, and bulbs you must plant right now if you want a lush, productive garden all the way through spring. But before we get into what to plant, there's something about Zone 8 in October that most beginners never understand, and that's where it all starts. Zone 8 is special. The summer heat finally fades, nights turn crisp, and the soil stays warm enough for roots to grow deep and strong. It's like nature pressing the refresh button. But here's the thing, while most people are pulling out dead plants and calling it quits, smart gardeners know this is the moment to plant. The soil is still alive, full of warmth and nutrients. The air cools just enough to keep pests away, and rain starts returning. If you plant now, you're giving your garden a secret head start for spring. The plants won't explode with growth right away, but underneath the surface, they're busy building roots, getting ready for that magical burst next season. Think of it as your garden's quiet hustle phase. And there's one tiny trick to knowing if your soil is ready to plant, but I'll tell you that in a bit, because first we need to talk about what you should actually be growing right now. Let's start with vegetables, because this is where most beginners miss the mark. October in Zone 8 isn't for heat-loving crops like tomatoes or peppers, they're done for the year. This is the season for cool weather champions. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and lettuce thrive in this weather. They love the chill, and the cool air actually makes them taste sweeter. Here's a little secret, those frosty nights, they're like nature's seasoning turning bitter greens into crisp, flavorful powerhouses. Then there are the root vegetables, carrots, beets, radishes, and turnips. These guys are the underground workers of your garden. But here's where most people go wrong, they plant them too shallow. Roots grow downward, not up, so you need to plant the seeds about twice as deep as their size. That's it. Such a small detail, but it completely changes your harvest. Now, I'm about to say something that might surprise you. There's one vegetable that can grow through the coldest parts of winter, fix your soil naturally, and give you a head start for spring. Can you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. Most beginners skip it because they think it's only for cover crops. Keep that thought in your mind, because before I reveal the answer, let's pause for a quick myth-busting moment. You've probably heard people say once summer's over, there's not much left to grow. That couldn't be further from the truth. October is one of the easiest and most forgiving months to plant in Zone 8. Why? Because the soil is still warm enough to encourage root growth. The days are mild, pests are slowing down, and you barely need to water. It's like the perfect gardening cheat code that hardly anyone talks about. So, about that mystery vegetable? It's fava beans. Fava beans are incredible because they do two things at once. They grow through winter, and they fix nitrogen into your soil. That means by spring, your garden soil is richer, softer, and naturally fertilized. Most beginners don't realize it, but planting fava beans now can literally make next year's crops twice as healthy. Now let's switch gears and talk about herbs, because this is where your fall garden can become both productive and beautiful. When you walk into your garden in October, imagine the smell of fresh parsley, the spice of cilantro, and the soft scent of chives in the cool air. That's the beauty of fall herbs. Zone 8 is perfect for growing them right now. Start with parsley, cilantro, and chives. They thrive in cool weather and don't bolt like they do in summer. But here's where people mess up. They water them like summer plants. In the fall, your herbs don't want constant moisture. Overwatering is the fastest way to kill them. The trick is to water deeply but less often. Think of it like giving them a drink, not a flood. Now here's a pro tip that experienced gardeners quietly swear by. Plant thyme and oregano near your walkway or the garden's edge. Every time you brush past them, the cool air releases their scent. It's like free aromatherapy in your yard. And here's something else that'll make you rethink your fall planting plan. Certain herbs protect other plants. For example, planting garlic near your bulbs keeps pests away naturally. And yes, garlic counts as both a herb and a bulb, which brings us to the next big part of this video. But before we go there, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why your neighbor's garden bursts into colors every spring while yours takes forever to wake up? There's a reason for that, and it starts right now in October. Here's the truth. Those gardens full of tulips, daffodils, and hyacinths weren't planted in spring. They were planted in fall. That's right. October in Zone 8 is the perfect time to plant bulbs. But here's where the suspense builds. There's one small mistake that ruins almost every beginner's bulb bed. Most people plant them too early. They see cooler weather and rush to plant, but the soil's still too warm. When that happens, the bulbs start sprouting before winter and die in the frost. The fix is simple but powerful. Wait until your soil temperature drops below 60 F, but before it freezes. And you don't need fancy tools to check. Just stick your finger about 3 inches deep into the soil. If it feels cool, but not freezing, you're good to go. Now, let's talk about which bulbs are worth planting right now. Start with daffodils. They're tough, reliable, and they come back stronger every year. Tulips bring that burst of color everyone loves, and hyacinths fill your garden with sweet fragrance. Don't forget alliums. They're like fireworks in flower form, and pollinators adore them. But here's a trick professionals use. Instead of planting bulbs in straight, perfect lines, plant them in clusters. Nature doesn't plant in rows, and when your garden blooms, those natural clusters will look stunning and full. Cover them with mulch to lock in moisture and protect them from winter chill. Remember that little secret we mentioned earlier? Garlic makes a perfect companion to these bulbs. It keeps pests away and gives you an early summer harvest too. 2 wins for 1 effort. Let's step back for a moment because I want you to really understand the magic of this month. Zone 8 gardeners have something special, a mild fall that stretches the season longer than almost anywhere else. The mistake most people make is treating October as the end. But when you shift your mindset, it becomes your garden's secret weapon month. While everyone else's gardens are going to sleep, yours is quietly preparing for the best spring yet. And here's a bonus pro tip that can save you money instead of throwing away fallen leaves. Use them as free mulch. They protect the soil, feed it as they decompose, and keep weeds away. Nature's recycling at its best. So let's wrap this up, but don't tune out yet because this last part might be the push you need to grab your gloves and start planting today. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. October is not your gardening finish line, it's your reset button. It's the quiet season that rewards action takers. The vegetables you plant now, spinach, kale, fava beans will feed your soil and your table. The herbs, parsley, cilantro, thyme will fill your space with life and scent. And those bulbs, tulips, daffodils, alliums will thank you in spring with color you won't believe you grew yourself. So, which one are you planting first? Tell me in the comments, I'd love to hear your plans. And if you want me to make a November planting guide next, drop a yes below. Remember, gardening isn't about having perfect weather or perfect timing. It's about planting something today that makes you smile tomorrow. So, go out there, feel that cool air, get your hands in the soil, and make October your garden's secret season.